show you a wrecked Les Paul victimized by the 80s transformed into this, the absolute best sounding 79 Les Paul Custom that I have personally played. To make that transformation happen, I enlisted Alex of Neat Guitars to do an incredible restoration. Let me take you back in time in last August and show you what this guitar looked like before Alex got his hands on it. 2 single coil pickups. They added a pickup in middle position, and then you can see they had a full route going on. Very weird to hear single coil Les Paul. The frets are so low. So I'm just thinking I want to put 3 humbuckers, make this pop, make it look more traditional, fill this, respray it black. And here's a little preview of the after. In this video, I'm going to show you the entire transformation of this guitar, step by step with Alex of Neat Guitars in Shorewood, Illinois. If it needs to be done on an acoustic or electric guitar, Alex is the guy. His info is down below. I'll show you some performance examples, and I'll see you on the other side for my honest reaction to this incredible, incredible Les Paul Custom. Check this out. All right, look at that. I don't have a problem with somebody making a guitar of their own, but to me it just feels wrong to have single coil pickups on a Les Paul Custom, and these frets were non-existent. So Alex is going to prep the guitar first by taking a look under the hood, see what he's dealing with in terms of the single coil pickups, what kind of routing is going on under there, dealing with this rat's nest of wiring. He'll start by removing and taking a look at what's currently installed. Looks like they made their own little clever encapsulation for that pickup, and it looks like a Jackson. That must be a neck position. And interesting how they did the route here. It actually looks like a pretty clean route, doesn't it, for this middle pickup. And I went back and forth on just filling that middle pickup and having it be a traditional Les Paul Custom with 2 humbuckers, but I just really felt like we could go the distance, and if it was already routed for a single coil, why not just route it for a 3rd humbucker and do kind of the Black Beauty thing, which I think is really just something sharp on this guitar and something different. Yeah, look at that route though. I mean, they did that pretty clean. Another Jackson under there, so again, loving those Jackson pickups. Single coil looks like a J100 in middle, and now you can get a look at this route. Pretty impressive actually. Somebody kind of knew what they were doing. And then here's that Kahler route, and that just kind of breaks my heart to see that on a Les Paul Custom, so that's gonna have to get filled. So the frets were clearly in rough shape. He's got to heat up these frets, pull the old wire, and I'm telling you, once he polishes this ebony board, you're gonna see how beautiful it is. This is another kind of hallmark of the 70s, maybe more so the 70s than the 80s, but this brass nut. And I considered leaving it, but at the end of the day, Alex does such a nice job. I figured we might as well put a new one on, so we went with a bone nut, which he shaped on this guitar that you'll see. We'll get rid of that brass nut and try to bring this back to as a traditional configuration as possible. Sanding down this fretboard in preparation for new frets, got everything taped up here. To level the fretboard too. I mean, there's a lot that goes into refretting, and you really have to have somebody who knows what they're doing. And Alex is definitely the guy I trust to do this job. Just more cleaning and prep before new wire can go in. Have you done work like this before? I have not. I wouldn't even attempt it. It makes me nervous just watching this. Alex knows what he's doing, but this kind of stuff would just terrify me. I don't even know how you begin. I guess you start out a beater guitar or something. Alex worked at Chicago Fretworks before splitting off, and now with Neat Guitars in Shorewood, Illinois. He's a guy to reach out to. And it looks like now he's gonna go ahead and prep the new fret wire. Pressing those in. Cutting off those ends, no fret nibs here. I actually prefer not to have fret nibs. I feel like you have more surface area on the usable fret without the nibs. Sanding those rough edges, and then of course all those frets have to be actually shaped, leveled and crowned. And checking the level now. If it's level, we'll take off all this permanent marker evenly. And here comes that crowning. You take some of these guitars now that have been used and abused since the 70s, and they have non-existent flat frets. And my goodness, the difference when you get a good fret job on these. This is always just so satisfying to watch. Buffing those to final perfection on that fretboard and these frets. Those things are gonna glisten. A little reveal here. Look at that mother of pearl block inlay on this guitar though, in ebony. Shiny, shaped, and ready to rock here. All right, frets are done. We're moving on to the structural issue at hand, which is adding this middle humbucker route. Once you place it, it just comes down to carving that out. We had to carve obviously wider than that existing single coil route to fit a humbucker. This is gonna have a trio of Gibson 57 humbuckers, which I've really fallen in love with lately. You can let me know which pickups you like, but I'm telling you, these 57s have really caught my attention lately. And I had 3 of them to use in a guitar, so there we go. Now this, I think, blew my mind more than anything in the whole process. You're gonna see the process of Alex using a CNC machine in his own shop. And something I learned from touring Gibson USA's factory is that even though CNC machines are used in guitar production, I want you to focus as you watch this on the perfection of this carve from the CNC machine, but then how much finishing work still has to be done by hand, no matter what, and the level of craftsmanship involved. This I could just watch all day though. Now here's a piece of maple, and this will plug that big ugly Kahler route. What do you think of Kahler trems? I personally can't stand them, and I'll be glad to see this shaped and fitted. But like I said, even with the CNC, there's a lot of hand finishing, and you'll see the amount of time it took Alex to hand finish this piece. Glue goes in, and now that maple plug is about to get hammered in. How many people do you know that have a CNC machine in their own shop though? I mean, this is crazy, the level of precision. That gets glued in, and like I said, I mean, you get the precision from the CNC machine, but this has got to get finished by hand. Layer by layer to get that perfect match and fit. Yeah, personally, I don't have the patience to do this stuff so well, and it just blows my mind how this is possible, how he can do that. And then taping it up, because at the stage now to start painting. And another thing that blows my mind, Alex is the absolute king of color matching. And you might say, well, it's just a black guitar. No, a lot goes into making sure that the color is just right, and then blending. He had this big unsightly Kahler block route, and to make this thing invisible, as Alex is about to do, just blows my mind. You're saying to yourself, all right, how do you blend that? Well, watch the master work, because this is just one of the most satisfying, amazing parts, if you ask me. wet sanding and polishing. It's gonna bring that to finished perfection. This, you've got to understand how difficult this is too. If you go too far, if you go through that finish, you have to start all over. That's true of any guitar factory where they're doing this final buffing. I mean, you get this far in the process, and it takes an incredible amount of skill, even with this wheel, to get this finish right. And there you go. I mean, this is the kind of thing where it just simply boggles my mind. It's invisible. You wouldn't know it was there. It's just insane to me. Perfection. Absolute perfection from Alex here. Just making a little cleanup and room for the fittings here. Instead of that Kahler, we're just going to have, of course, the traditional stop bar. Pressing in these bushings for a tight fit here. And then cutting that bone nut. It's the talent and the tools, and Alex has got everything he needs to do every step of this process, and his shop is really, really amazing to me. Final setup here, and then of course wiring in the humbuckers. And we went with a configuration that puts the tone knob, the center control of the middle humbucker, so you can turn it on or off in any position and get the perfect blend that you'd want. And here you go, finished product, wired up, gleaming. Just beautiful work here. Fresh frets feel incredible on this guitar. And as we wrap this, let's move now to the final performance, because it all comes down to how does this thing sound. I could not be more excited about how this absolutely incredible Les Paul turned out. I noticed right away, even when it was wrecked, that this guitar had a beautiful ebony board with this mother of pearl block inlays, but the frets were non-existent on this guitar after decades of use and abuse. So Alex did an incredible job of refretting the guitar. Obviously, you saw him use the CNC machine to create this invisible filling of this Kahler route here. And now we've got the 357s. I think the 57s sound just monstrous on this guitar. And I am just in love. Alex, thank you so much for doing a great job. Remember to check him out. Neat Guitars on YouTube. Also, he's in Shorewood, Illinois. Talk to him if you need any work done on your guitars. He's the guy that I trust. If you're in the market for any new gear, click to buy new gear using our link. You'll find it pinned in the comments or down below in the description. You can also shop scanning this QR code and shop on your smartphone. All right, drop a comment. I'd love to hear your reactions. What do you think of this incredible restoration? I love saving a wrecked Les Paul, and Alex has done it again. You can check out our other video. We saved another Les Paul. And there's plenty more from Alex, including a headstock repair and more. Check out his channel, check out the videos on playing trade guitars. Until next time, I'm John. See you next time and keep playing.